hello. I've got no chat screen. No, I'm on YouTube. And hello. I was just getting my chat up. I'm hoping that. Hello. I was just getting my chat up. I'm hoping that. Hello. Sorry, I've got a bit of a. There we go. Had a bit of an echo there. I hadn't turned my sound down on my TV. I hope everybody's okay. Hi Sheila. Hi Carol. Hi Savannah. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday Funday, where we will be putting together the brand new project box that I've made. So I will I'll get one out ready. Just give me 2 ticks and then I'll put the camera on. Mine's got some stuff in at the minute, but okay, give everybody a couple of minutes just to get in. And then hello everybody. I'm hoping there we go. It's different every single time I do it. There we go. I just have not got any. There we go. I've got some chat over there. Hi Dee. Hi David. I'm still waiting for your invitation to a face-to-face craft along. Yes, okay. I will get one. It's Sunday, so I'm in. I've just washed my hair, had a shower, and so I'm just like kicking back and relaxing at the minute. So I hope everybody else has had a good weekend. I've not had a bad one, so it's been quite quiet this weekend. So I like them to weekends where they're quiet and you don't do an awful lot. So we're just chilling out. It's really cold here in Lincolnshire at the minute. So I was contemplating putting my heating on, but I haven't yet. I've just put on an extra jumper. So we're going to be making the new project box that I've got in my shop. And I'll show you one that I've done already. It's going to be a bit difficult because it is pretty big. I say pretty big, it's not that big. It is about 11 inches by, I think it was 5.5. I think I did it. Yeah, about 5.5, and then it goes to 5.5 tall around the sides, but then the back is 7.5. So in the kit you'll get all the MDF pieces that are cut out. Now these are 2mm MDF. They are a bit like the grey board, but a lot more sturdier than your normal grey board, but not as thick as the your 3mm thick grey board. But for this type of thing, it works really well. So you'll get your grey board, and you'll also get your file dividers as well as your numbers. So you get your numbers as well as that. So you get 5 of those in there. You'll also get your feet, which are here, and you'll get these metal embellishments that go around the side just to add a little bit more bling to your box. So I've been putting in mine, I've been using it as I've been cutting out all my elements. I put them into the project file. So page 1 will go in page 1, etc, etc, all the way through. And then you've obviously got an extra one in the front, which I use then for my front and back covers. And this camera does, there we go. So it's really, really handy. But at the minute, I've just got a project that I'm busy working on at the minute. in there. So I'm just going to put my bits back in because I don't need this at the minute. Oh, the other thing you'll get in the kit is the templates to cut out your pattern paper for your back and your front, so that you can get a nice straight edge and it looks all nice and lovely. Hi Amanda, how are you? Hi Sheila. I know, yeah, I can't believe we're in June already, you know, nearly halfway through June, and I'm contemplating putting my heating on. So, yeah, I haven't yet. As I say, I just put on something warm. I've got my thick pyjamas back on with my thick socks, just in case. But if I feel cold later, I will put it on. So, to put the kit together, we need to put it together before I paint, because any MDF, it does warp, so that's how I find it a lot better to do it that way. Now I'm just going to poke this bit out. There we go. So that is your base. So all it is constructing, and I did forget the other thing that you'll get is a nice big roll of foundation tape. So this is 50 meters on a roll that you'll get, which is far too much just to do this box, but then you've got some left over to do another project. So I'm just grabbing my scissors. Now I've got special scissors that I use just for my foundation tape because they do get gunked up. And Carol last week gave a good idea of using nail varnish remover to get it unstuck, which is really good. I haven't tried that yet, but I use alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. That also does the trick. So to put it together, it couldn't be simpler. It's going to go together really, really quick. Now I've just noticed, Savannah, I've picked up the wrong front, so I might need to go back and just get that, because my front should have the little pegs on that go into the slots in the bottom. So if you bear with me 2 seconds, I'll just go pop and get that. I picked up the wrong one. sorry about that. I'm just back now. I've just realised that my kit that I've actually cut the wrong front to it. I should have cut one with bottoms on. But I'm going to try and put it together and we can go from there, because it should actually come up. The other thing is, if you wouldn't mind giving me like 10 minutes, I can cut another one, which I think I might do, and then come back on at 2:30 and then I'll get it done. So if you bear with me for 10 minutes, I'll get the proper one cut out. Hey? I have found one, so I can go back on. Right. Here we go. Right, hello everybody. I have actually found my one. I found a spare here, so I'm hoping everybody's still there and not gone. I don't know how that happened, but yes, the front has the little pegs on that go into the slots here. I think what's happened, when I've cut this one out, I've actually cut out the layer, the template for the front out of MDF. So I don't know how that happened, but these things do happen. But anyway, this is how it should go, like so. So if you can see that, I'll turn it up. So you've got a little lip on the bottom, and then obviously the pegs fit in, but we need to put on some glue so that it just sticks a little bit stronger. And then the sides, we use our tape just to tape around. So with this, I'm going to put my glue along the edge just between the two pegs. So where those two pegs are, we put the glue along there. Now I am starting with the front, but it doesn't matter if you want to start at the back or the front or the sides. It's entirely up to you. So we're just going to slot that in like so. Now if you've got any little glue beads that come out, I have got an old brush here. It's a water brush actually, the one that I've got somewhere. I can't find that, but I've also got one of these, which is a clay, I suppose it's a clay former, and this works just as well, just to take away that glue, the beads of glue that you get. So that's your front. So I'm actually now going to go to the side, and we'll just push these in here like so, and then so again I'm just putting it inside those two pegs, and I'm going to go up the side of this one like so, and I'll do the side of the other side as well, and I'm just putting dots on, and then I will smooth it out like so. Then we can push that in, and we're going to stick the front to the side. Now I'm pushing it so that it's level with the corner, okay, like so. So this is where your tape now comes in a little bit handy. So what we're going to do is grab the tape, and we're just going to anchor it together just to help that glue set like so. And then so that then is the side. There we go, you can see there. You can see all this glue, but we'll get rid of that in a second. Now another good thing to use would be a baby wipe as well. That would help, but not a very damp baby wipe. There we go. Okay, I'll do the back now. No, we won't. We'll do the side. So I'll turn that round and do the side. So again, just in between those pegs and up the two sides here. Okay. And then we just slot it into the holes. Now this one I've realised hasn't got the two holes in where to put our feet in, so I will do that. Your ones will have the holes, but this one hasn't. I think this must have been the first one that I cut out, and I've just kept it and I thought, oh, I'll use that one. So I'll push that in. Okay, get it level with the side. I'll ask Savannah in a moment if she will get my Dremel out and I can just put my holes in. If you heard that, Savannah. You've not got pegs on yours, right? Okay, so what I'll do is tomorrow I'll send it out first thing tomorrow morning, so then you'll have it. So I'm so sorry about that, Sheila. I did double check that. I obviously just didn't check it thoroughly enough, so I'll send yours out first thing tomorrow morning. If you can get my Dremel, please, Savannah, that would be lovely, because this hasn't got any holes in the base. I think what's happened is Savannah and I both did this, and I think the files have got just a bit jumbled up on the computer, so I've just cut them out and then obviously not checked them correctly, and I think we just ended up with files that are just jumbled, so when we've made changes to them, it's obviously not been deleted, so no, that's fine. I'll send yours first thing out tomorrow morning. I'll get that organised. So I've put my glue on my back in between my pegs, and again, but I've put it on the side of the sides here. So I'm going to just slot that in like so and push that down like so, and then I'll push that up and push that in like so. And then I'm just going to put our tape on just to give that a time to set. It doesn't take long, this glue. There we go. That's two and one more. And then once it's actually on, then we tape up the sides. The box is really sturdy. So I'll just get my Dremel. So first of all, I'm just going to take off that glue, and then I'll grab my Dremel, and then I can just put some holes in the base here. There we go. So that's the box. That didn't take too long to put together. It's sort of now all together. So while I just find my Dremel, which is in a cupboard the other side of my craft room, that will give that time to set. There we go. Just got it now. Okay. So I only need a very small drill piece. This is my favourite. I love these little tools. So sorry, I've just lost all my. There we go. I was going to say. Hi Lauren, how are you? There we go. So we'll just check that that works. That is the same drill piece. There we go. So a little bit noisy, so I do apologise. But as I say, you won't have to do this. Yours will already be done. So I'm just going to give myself a mark just so that I know exactly where, so I get it in the same place. So we've got one. Pencil would work. So I'm just going to do this 1 inch in and 1 inch down, and then that will give me 1 inch across there. Okay, so it'll be there. So and there. Sorry, I've got a bit quiet now. And then one more. It won't take me too long. Then we can put our feet on, and then we can do a little bit of painting. There we go. So this, I'm hoping this is not going to be too noisy. There we go, it's my holes made, so it's like they were meant to be there. So with that, right, okay, Sheila, again, I do apologise. The files have got mixed up, and I think that's what's happened is I've gone to cut them all, and I've cut the old files. I think it's because my daughter and I both did the same things that it's just got muddled. So I'll send them out to you first thing tomorrow. And again, I do apologise for that. So with these, we need then to put the feet on. So in your pack, you should get your feet. And you should get some little brads as well as all your screws to put your feet on. Now these screws are not the screws that actually come with these, because the screws that actually come with the feet are about this long. They're quite long, so I've had to source extra small screws for them to fit into, but they should fit. Now I like to put them on first because I'm going to paint my base. Now if you're going to paper your base, I would say paper it now and then put your feet on afterwards, but then I would then paint your feet separately and then put them on. But because I'm just going to paint the base black, I'm going to put them on now. So I'm going to just stick them through here. she says that should be enough size. I'm hoping. Yes, it is. I'll just get my screwdriver out in a second and I can push them through. I've got a tiny screwdriver here. There we go. So that's one. Sorry, it takes a little bit of time, but once you've got them on, once you've got them threaded through, they're okay. I might just thread the other two through, and then hopefully it won't take too long. Then we can paint. I'm actually going to use the Flights of Fancy papers from Graphic 45 to do this one. The one that I've done for the pictures, I used the Come One Come All. I had loads of that left over, so I wanted to get use it up. I think you use 1, 5, probably about 9 to 10 sheets for the whole project of your 12 by 12, so it's not a lot. Not a lot of sheets to use, which is good. And then you could also get it down if you didn't want to paper your files. So if you wanted to keep them, paper them maybe, or you could add rice paper to them and things like that. That would be nice. And all your painty mixed media techniques, that would be lovely. I'm all fingers and thumbs today. There we go, on we come. It's because I'm trying to do it and I'm right-handed, and I'm trying to do it left-handed. There we go. One. See if I can get this, there we are, started, and then I can push that down. There we are. I might see if I've got a bigger, there, that might work. No, that's not the one I want neither. Okay. Okay, it's there, it's getting there now. One more. There we go. So that's the feet. I've probably made that look harder than it actually is. go, I've got that there. Right. Just tightening these up now. Last one, and then we can just do some painting. So there we go, last one there. And then once they're on, they do look rather nice, I have to say. Right, so I'm going to use black, but again, it's up to you what you want to use. So if you want to use a different colour, then please do. You could use chalk paint on this. I'm just using black gesso, but you could also use emulsion if you have that as well. You could, if you've got some left over from painting, if you've got your craft room and you want to really coordinate, then you could use your emulsion tape on that, your emulsion paint as well. So I've just poured some in here, and I did have a paintbrush. There we go. And all you do is, I will probably give this a couple of coats, just so that I make sure that I get it all done. And I'm going to paint the feet as well. Now, spend quite a bit of time doing your feet, because they've got that sort of ornate edge to them. You may miss underneath, so really do pick it up and look at it from all directions. There we go. Now this gesso is just one that I got off Amazon, so it's not it wasn't expensive. I think it was about £9 for 1 litre, so it's lasted a long time, I have to say. So what I'll do is I'll paint the feet, and then we can I'll turn it over, and then we can paint the rest of it, because we need to paint the inside. So the inside of it needs painting, but if you're going to paper inside, the only thing I would say is, if you don't paper the inside of the sides, because the files are sized to exactly the same size as what your box is. Because how I've done that is so that you can stand them up and they're not going to move, and I didn't then need to put in grooves for where your files went, because you might have a page 1 that is got like 7 or 8 elements to it, so you need that extra bit of space. So I did make them so that you can move them to suit whatever project you're doing. So as you can see, I've left quite a bit there, so that's what I mean when I say just keep turning it round, just to make sure you've got all of it covered. Right, so that's there, and I'll just keep on turning it round. There we are. Okay, so that's the back, sorry, the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to just dry it off quickly, and that way I can then give it a second coat. So what I'm going to do, it might be really loud and I do apologise, I'm not sure how, I think it might be this one, let me see. Right. So I hope you can still hear me okay. Now just get the chat back up. There we go. Right, so that's near enough dry, so I'm just going to give this a quick second coat, and it will be quicker the second coat that you put on. So obviously you've got some paint down already, and this is just covering it up just to make sure that you've got every single bit covered, like so. And then I'll just go around over it again with the heat tool, just to make sure, because I'm obviously going to put it down on its feet. I want the feet to be dry, and I've missed a tiny bit underneath there, a bit under there. Just looking round, making sure. Nothing worse than just having a little bit showing. There we go. Right, heat tool again. I'm just going to put you on mute so you don't hear it. There we go. Okay, so that's my bottom done. So we've now got we need to go all the way around our edges and also the inside. Now, if you're papering, I papered the bottom on mine, but I'm just going to do the edges, because where your paper will come up to, you don't want to see any of the grey book, the MDF. So I'm going to paper around the edges, and I will do, did I do? Yes, I did. So I will do all of the bottom on this one, but you could put, as I say, your pattern paper, just some cardstock if you wanted to use just black cardstock. Just inside, it's just to give you, just so that it looks a little bit more finished. So I'm just going to do that. So that's my bottom done. Then I'm going to come up the sides. Now the back, I'm just going to go around the edges here. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way around. Did I? I don't know if I did. I may have used the tape around the edge there. We can do both, so I'll cover it, and then I'll cover it with the tape as well, so that you can see both ways. So I'm just covering, just painting now the side bits. Like so. And going over the top, just off the very, very tippy top, I'm going to do as well. So, sorry if this is a little bit awkward to see. Once I get this done, I'll turn the box round and then you can see it. So, just get all this messy bit out of the way. Just getting rid of some of my paint. I have got these messy mats in the shop as well. They're really, really good. They're a matte, so you can hardly see them on the camera, which is what I like. And they do really keep your surface tidy. These are, they self-stick as well, so they don't move like your traditional craft mats do. So yeah, they're really, really good, and you can wash them and they come up lovely. say, maybe not wash them in the washing machine, but you can use some soap and water. So the next little bit I'm going to do is that lip, I'm just going to paint around that lip like so. And do the back. And I'm going to come around the edge of the back there as well. Now don't worry about the tape that's there, because I'm going to keep my tape on just to give it a little bit more strength. Nothing more. If you want to take yours off, you can do, but I would suggest putting a little bit more on just to help strengthen it. That's all it is. Right, so that's my box nearly done. But then what I also want to do is I am going to just come around this front piece here, just to do that very top edge like so, and then come down there, and I need this last bit here done, just round here like so, and then that's done. As I say, I am going to paper inside my back, but I'm just doing the corners, okay, like so. Make sure I've got no bubbly bits. Okay, and then while I've got my paint out, I am going to just move that to the side to dry. But while I've got my paint out, I'm going to paint my files. Now you get the 5 files in this, and on mine what I did was I painted the back, and then I just painted the front, but just around the edges, so that it was blacked out. So for this one, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint our little file tab, and just around the edges here. I won't bother with the back, and I can do that later. So there we go. So just paint them as you go, move them to the side. So I'm just going to leave mine down, and then there we go. So that's 2. Run out of space to put them now. That's another one. So as they're starting to dry, I can just put them on top of each other. So just say it's just to give that coverage, so you don't have to go all the way over, just to make sure you've got those edges covered. Like so. I will just quickly go over these with the heat tool as well, and then maybe add a second coat if I think it needs it. But I don't think round the edges it will. The only time it will need a second coat would probably be on the back. Okay. Like so. So I've just missed a piece here. Like that. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, but I hope okay, I must be pressing the wrong one. I will yeah, I'll check that next time. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my chat. It just doesn't seem to want to come up the chat for some reason. There we go. So I'll make sure I think it might be the other one. There we are. Right, so that's then all my pieces done. So let me see. I'm going to push that one there. Hopefully that's off. Right, hopefully I'm back. Thumbs up if you can now hear me okay. All okay, brilliant. So I'm not going to give the box any more coats, but what I may do is I'm just having a think, and I think I may need to do the back of this, because if I've obviously put my pattern paper down, I don't want to then start getting the paint out, so I might just quickly just go ahead and just paint the back. But I'll just give this one coat just so that, or I might just do one and then pattern the paper the rest of them. So let's just, you can't make this go any quicker to paint, but it's one of those things that it needs to be done beforehand, and I didn't want to do it before off camera, because I think it's nice, especially if you're crafting along and doing your own craft as well. Sometimes it's nice just to have somebody in the background just waffling on and crafting along, rather than showing you a technique or something. I quite like listening to people craft and chat away. There we go. So I've just realised what I've done there. Oh, tomorrow, I don't know, it's Sunday, isn't it? I'm going to say, I think I've got my Sunday head on. So I'll put that to the side for the minute. Turn it round and do the right side. There we go. And this MDF is really good. It takes the paint beautifully. It's what Savannah does with my offcuts. If I've got any offcuts, she uses them and she paints on hers, and she does pictures and things, and which look really nice. There we go. So that's another one, and then the last, I've got two more. Stay up there, so turn them around. And these are pots that I've got here that I've just put my paint in. They are, or were, the dog food dishes. that my dog's food comes in, and I just wash them out, clean them out, run them through the dishwasher, and they just make fantastic paint palettes, especially if you're doing things like this. You need, you know, like a well of paint. Well, what I would do is you can I'm only going to put paper on one side on mine, Sheila, but you can put it on both sides if you want. I just was trying to conserve a little bit of paper and just put it on the one side, on the front facing side is what I was going to do. But no, you could definitely put it on both sides if you wanted to. I just wanted, as I say, just to conserve my paper, and you don't really need it on both sides, in my little humble opinion. But if you don't like painting, then you can, as I say, just put it on the both of them. But just paint around your edges. If you don't even want to paint, you've got enough tape that you can tape around the edges of your files as well, so that you don't get messy. I don't mind getting too messy, so it doesn't bother me too much. Right, I am going to just put the heat tool on again, but I'm not going to paint these a second time. I'm just going to just check to make sure I've got a good coverage and no holes, but I've got one here that I've not done one side. There we go. Right, the more lives I do, hopefully the better I'll get, but it wouldn't be one of my lives if I don't have a major headache. So, but hopefully the more I do them, the better I get. So I'm just going to keep doing them, and hopefully they'll be okay. There we are. So I'm going to just put the heat tool on again. Hopefully I'll turn them all off and then you won't hear it again. Okay, I'm now back. So I've now finished that. I've just found out I've got loads on that side that is wet, but they'll hopefully dry. So let me just dry them, just wipe my hands. And then I'll have a quick tidy up. Yeah, I know, and I always make loads of mistakes, Sheila. Hi Noreen, how are you? Oh, don't worry. Hope everybody's having a nice Sunday. So, yeah, I always make loads of mistakes I think that's part of crafting as well, is making mistakes. Well, that's how I feel anyway. So I did have a pot of water. So good thing now about this is I can pick this up and move it to the side and clean it up later. So over there. So we'll just tidy this away. I'll just add it to, put it over this side, and then just quickly just have a quick tidy up before I get all my paints out. I might need to just go through that side again. There we are. So I think this side was still a little bit wet. No, that's not too bad. There we are. Just checking. So I'm going to now put these back in order so that we've got them in the order that they should be in. So we've got 1, that's 6, 5, 2, 3. It's got to be that way. There we go. And that goes in there. And then that's that side. Now, if you wanted to have them the opposite way, so I've got them where my 1 is first. If you wanted them that, you could have, they go any other way. So if you wanted them, so obviously, so you've got your 1 at the back, you can do it. It's they kind of mix and match. So just making sure that's okay. Right, quick clean of my hands. And there we are. Right. I can then get out the papers. Oh, I tell you what I have forgotten to do, which would have been a good thing while we had that, but I'm not going to do it so much now, is paint our numbers. Now, again, it's up to you what you do. I would say painting them probably would be the best idea, because you can then put them over the top of your card. Over your file, like so. They kind of go like that. But again, if you don't want to have them painted, you can leave them that colour or paint them white or something like that. What another good thing you can do is paint this bit white and this black, and then have the number showing through underneath, which would be a really good idea. What I did is I just cut out some pattern paper and put that on, and then put that over the top. So I don't know if you can see, you can just see the pattern paper coming through there. But again, if you wanted to paint that white, you could. I don't know if I've got, have I got a white Posca pen? I have. Let's have a quick go. So what you could do is paint it white. Right. Now you're not going to see this because it's not really great painting, but I'll get the tiny one out. This one isn't as powerful, so it's not as noisy. Yeah. So that then is the white. and then you'll put that over the top and it will show through a lot more, especially if these are black. But because I've forgotten to do that, I'm not going to do that now. I'll leave those and we'll get onto the pattern paper. Just give this another coat of white. Yeah, and then I'll put this to the side like so to dry with those and this. Okay, so that's my box. So now we can go and down the sides with our tape, and this is just going to strengthen it. Now if you want to, because mine are quite long here, if you wanted to take them off and shorten them and just make them a little bit less long, you could do like so and just put them on. That way, as I say, it just strengthens it a little bit more and hides that edge like so. And another thing I like to do is just get your Teflon tool, and I do like to just iron out any of the creases you may have, because then when you put your pattern paper on the top, it will sit nicely. So let me just do this side. Might get a new piece here. Stick that on. You can see, there we are. As I say, you've got enough tape here, so if you wanted to do a book, you could do. If you wanted to do an album, you've got plenty of tape. For me, it just worked out cheaper to offer the longer roll than it would be to get like a 5 meter one. I'd have to order something like 5,000 rolls of 5 meters, which is just a huge amount. So it was cheaper for me to just get the big rolls. So with this, I'm going to start with putting my tape half on, half off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on to the side here. I'm going to line it up with the bottom, so with that lip, and just push that down. Okay, I'm going to turn it over, and then this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So what you could do if you wanted to is cut it off here, or you could come along here, but I'm just going to cut it off just to make it simpler for everybody. So then find your edge and just keep going over and down, just burnish it over and over till you get a really nice crisp edge, and then run your finger along so that you create a nice flat surface. Now I have got a little bit over there, so just pushing that down, but don't worry, when we come to cover this bit, that will cover it. So I'm going to do this again, but this time this tape is going to go onto the very tippy toppy edge, okay, all the way down like so. Now what you could have done is gone all the way, carried this all the way down, but I just wanted to make it a little bit easier so that you could see what we did. So I've got my tape now along that edge. You can see where I've gone along that edge, you can see the indent of the top there. Okay, so with this I'm now going to cut into where that corner is, I'm just going to cut at a diagonal so that you kind of cut a little triangle type bit out. So I'm going to push that bit down like so, come along, and I'm going to cut into this side on the opposite side, and I'm going to do that at a diagonal again. Okay, then leave this attached. I'm just going to push this down to stick it to the edge, and then we can cut this little bit off here. So I'm just going to come down just slightly over, and you see I've just come slightly over, push that bit down, and then push that along. Okay, and then you've created a nice point. There we go. Hope you can see that. So that's all covered, and then when you pattern paper this, this is just going to look like a nice black edge. So I'm not going to do around here. If you want to, you can. It would just mean that as you go along, you have to then make snips into it so that it will fit over the curve. Okay, but I'm going to leave that as is. So this side, because I did that way, I can show you this way. So I'm going to start at the back, and again on that tippy toppy edge, come down, bring your tape down, and then just cut that off at the bottom. Okay, like so, and then again just burnish that down and burnish the top bit down. Don't stick it down yet, because you need to just create those little snips. I think I've got some, there we go. I had a bit of magnet stuck to my scissors. So again, just cut that at an angle. These scissors are a bit big, so let me just, there we go, push that down, and then push it down from the middle all the way down, and then you shouldn't get any air bubbles, like so. Now I'm going to cut this tiny bit off here and just push that over. So that's two different ways you can use. So it doesn't matter, no way is the correct way. It's what works for you which is the best. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me move you down a bit. There we go. So all I've done is I've just come down, I've just brought my tape down to here, and then I've just used the edge of the bottom to just cut it off there, and then just push them down. My camera must have moved. There we go. There. Hope that you can see it a bit more. Let me move you up a little bit. There we go. So if you want to now, I'm going to do the back bits, but I'm only going to stop here. Okay, I'm not going to do this bit, but again, if you want to carry that around, you can. So I'm going to start this at the bottom. So start down the bottom here. So it's half on, half off of your grey book, your MDF. And no, actually, let's go round it. Let's go round, and we can see what it looks like then. Okay. So, as I say, I'm just putting it so that it's level with the bottom here. Okay. So I'm going to go round all the way. I'm going to go over the top, like so. And again, it's just half on, half off. You can see there where the edge is, where I'm just burnishing with my finger. Bring that round, down, like so. Make sure you're half on, half off, and then use this as your guide just to cut into that tape, like so. And then it is a little bit stretchy, so you can pull it a little bit tighter, like so. So again, I'm just going to use my finger just to burnish that down like so. Now I am going to start where it bends, so here where it bends round, I'm just going to put a little snip in. I'm going to snip this side as well. Okay, and then I might make another one a little bit further down. I'm doing it on both sides like so. I will also put one where the side meets the back, so I can push that bit over. So the bit that you're coming up the side of the side here, it then fits over the top. This bit, so this bit here now, I can push this down, okay, and then start to stick that onto the side, okay, and then that bit, and then this bit here. So I'm going to stick this next bit down, so where the two snips that we've made, we can push that in. Okay, like so. You will end up with a few creases. You're not going to get away with that, but you can iron most of them out when you use your bone folder on them. So I'm just going to put another two snips in and then bring that around. Okay, so that's that one side. Okay, you can see I've got some creases in here, but with your bone folder you may just be able to iron some of them out. You won't be able to iron them all out, but some of them you will be able to. But if you do that, remember to support the underside so that you don't break any of your grey board pieces. So I'm going to do the same with this side. So I'm going to start again at the corner, push that over, and then come down here, just push that bit over, so then you've got this bit done. So you've done the sides, and then I'm going to just snip it either side where I think that curve is, and then I can stick them on. It's just so that it goes round that curve a little bit better. Now this side is now going on a lot better than the first side. There we are, that one and that one. There we are. And then you should just be left then with two wings here, which I start in the middle and then just push them down either side like so. I've got a little bit here that I could have just snipped into a little bit. Push that down like so, and then that's your back covered all the way round. But again, you don't have to do that. You can, as I say, just use the paint as your cover. So that is that all done. So now we get the really nice part, which is the pattern paper. Now I was just looking to see, I had a drink. There we go. Oh, can you see it now? I'll get there. There we are. How's that? It's very difficult. I think the camera that I've got, it's a wider lens, so it shows more this way than that it does shows downwards. So it's really difficult to get a correct placement of it. And how I've got my setup, I've got a TV above it, and then the camera arm comes out, so I can't move it up or down anymore. So it's kind of stuck in that position. So it is just trying to find that happy medium. So this then is your box now finished. So you could, that's it, you can then finish that, and all you need is your pattern paper. So I'm going to going to leave that there because we are going to use that because we need our template to cut into our box. Now I'm going to do that first. So, as I say, I'm going to use the Flights of Fancy. So I've got the patterns and solids and the collection pack as well. So, as I say, this is really, really nice. I'm going to go with... I'm actually going to go with the red because that's going to go with the box that I've got. So I'm going to go with the butterflies, I think. Now, did I have the butterflies in the black? I've got them in the blue. So, yeah. So I'm going to go with that. So you'll need one for your front. And your front will also do your two sides. And then you'll need one for the back. So, sorry, two for the back if you're going to pattern paper the inside. So I'm going to go with that for the front and the sides, and then I'll see what I do for the front. I might pick something else for the back, but let me have a look at these ones quickly because I may change my mind, and I think I might do. I think I'm going to go with, oh, look at that. No, I'm actually going to change my mind. See, I'm going to go with that for my front because that's really nice. Front and the sides. That for the back. And then I might pick a pattern solids for the outside as well. So, for the front, you've got your template. And all we need to do with that, you need to find which place you want. So, which part of your paper you want to do. So, I'm going to do this. Like so. So, move that out of the way for a second. Now, if you wanted to do it where you didn't have a border around, then you could use Mod Podge, stick your paper on, and then use a sanding block to sand off the excess of your paper. So you could do it that way if you wanted it to be a full coverage rather than having a like a black matte and layer type effect. So I'm just going to line it up. So I've lined it up with my edges, so that way I've only got two edges to cut. And you need a pencil, and a sharper pencil at that. And just take your time with this, just to make sure you're all lined up with everything. And once you're there, just draw around. Now I cut on the pencil line, and I cut it this way because I want to make sure that it's correct. There we go. So I've only got those two to cut. Now you need a quite sharp, nice pair of scissors. I love these Spellbinder ones. It's like cutting through butter. So I'm just taking my time. I'm just going to come round here. Sorry, I've got my tongue out. As you know, it's like when you're fussy cutting. Make sure I've got the correct one. There we go. And then just that tiny bit there. So that's then my front. That's going to fit on there just nicely. Now I will ink my edges as well. Now if you want to, you can ink them so that you create that distressed ink look, or you could use just a black pen and go around the top. I think I want to just check this actually. So that's my black, and all I'm doing is just inking that white core. Don't know if you can see that core there. So if you just black over that, it just hides that white core, and it tricks your eye to thinking that the paper just carries on. Also, it's a good way if you've your cutting is not completely straight, it will hide that as well. Okay, so that's that. Now let me just get out got some I just want to see what the black will look like. So I'm just going to use an offcut here. I just want to see how it looks. So, sometimes it might, because this is like a watercolor type image, sometimes I think it might look a little bit better. I actually quite like that, so I'm going to use that. So don't be afraid as well to try different things. As I say, I've got that extra bit there that you just kind of tried it on just to make sure it was going to work. So it just takes a little bit longer to do it this way. You could use a different colour. You didn't need to use black. You could have maybe gone with the colour that you've got in your pattern paper as well. But I would always test it first on just an offcut, just to make sure that it's what you want. So that's that piece. Now you could just use your normal glue, or if you've got Mod Podge, use that. And I did have some Mod Podge here somewhere that I was going to use. Give me a second. It's always a way you think, I've just moved the bathroom, so I've got glue and stuff everywhere. And you know, if you in your normal craft room, you would have been able to put your finger on it straight away. So I had it out. Okay, never mind. I think I might just have to use my normal glue. Use that for in a minute. Okay, right. So normal glue does do it. With Mod Podge, when you cover the whole thing, it makes your paper really flat onto your piece. But because I've not got it, you can use just normal glue. If you were going to use Mod Podge or something like that, you would just use a brush just to brush it on. But I'll just quickly go over this quite a lot. And I mean, the other ones I've done, I haven't used a Mod Podge or anything like that, and they've stuck fine. They've not lifted or anything. So there we go. Just giving this quite a bit of glue. And then I just need to bring this into shot a little bit. just so that I can gauge my edges. There we go. There we are. So, bring in your Teflon tool. I'm just going to burnish that down, just very gently. Just squidge all that glue apart, just so that you end up getting onto the edges and the corners and things. And if you get a little bit that comes out, don't worry, just wipe that away. There we are. So that's your front. Now you could then add different pieces on there, like I have, just add your border, but I think we'll get this covered and then we can play around with things like that at the end. So that's your front, and I said we can use this now for the sides. So what I'll do is, you can either turn it round and use that, this side if you wanted to, or use the same. I'm going to use the same. I'm just going to cut this part off here so that I've got a straight edge to work from. Going this way, like so. It's just to give me a straighter edge, like that. I know I've got a little bit there, but I'll work from this side. So then that's going to fit on there. Now if you wanted to, you can cut that down. So I'm just checking I had enough space around, which I have. So I'm going to cut this at, I'm going to write this on here, so 5 3/8. I think it's a square, and then 5 3/8 again, yes, by 5 3/8. So move that there, bring that in. And I'm going to just, yeah, I'm going to go this way. So 5 3/8 down here. I'll stick that over there, and then I'll do 5 3/8 again, because that's my other side, like that. And then I can just cut off that top piece. That's 1 and 2. There we are. So that's your 2 side pieces. So bring that in. I know you're not going to be seeing that just yet, but we just need to ink the edges now. And I've got one of the very old blending sponges. What you could use as well, if you had any cut and dry foam, that works as well. So there we go. That's 1 and 2. Like so. And so that's our pieces already done. So I'm going to glue them on now. Just check they're the right size, and they are, before I put my glue on. So again, I'm just putting quite a bit of glue on, just so that I can make sure I get it into all those corners. But I'm just going to take this out of here for a minute. I think in my bottle here I must have a piece of dried glue, and every time it gets caught on my nozzle, and I have to really squeeze it and then unclog it, and then it comes back. So I really don't know what it is. So bring this up, make sure you've got it up the right way. Now I might just bring this down a bit just so that I can see what I'm doing. There we are. Push that down. There we are. That's your side. Done. And then we do this side. I think I might need to get another refill or another one of these bottles. Make sure I've got this one up the right way. And I don't think it matters, but I'm going to have it that way, I think. Push that down. That's that. Just pushing this on now, just making sure. Right, give it a good burnish. As you can see, I've got a little tiny bit there that's just got lifted up. There we are. Again, don't worry if you've got a little bit of glue comes out, just wipe that off. This glue does dry clear as well. So that's your front and your sides, and then you've just got the back. Now if you wanted to have the same all the way round, then you could. I'm just going to stick with I'm going to go with the butterflies. I'm going to put the butterflies on the inside here. I think that would go really nice, but I don't know if blue would go better actually. I think a blue would go a lot better. Hold on, let me find the blue. Or the purple even. I think the blue goes a lot better. What does everybody else think? Red or blue? Or purple. They've also got purple. Could be purple. Let's have a look. There we go. Hold on. Let's get purple one out. I'm sure I had a purple one. No, I did. Purple was on the back, but I didn't really want to use that. Blue. Yeah, I think blue too. Yeah, blue. Blue it is. We all agree. So for that we are going to use the template, and that is, just double checking. Yep. Now for the template for the inside, it's going to be a snugger fit than what it would be on the outside, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to have that nice border, equal border all the way around at the top. So as I say, back to your pencil and your template, and again I'm just going to line it up with the corner here. Now if you're worried about it moving, you can just tape it down, but I'm just gonna if it and hope it doesn't move. Go. I think I'm okay, and then again just draw around it like so. This is quite thick card, so it will keep it in place. So now bring in your scissors. As I say, I'm just cutting on that pencil line. just come round. There we go. And then you've got a little bit left. Again, you can then just, I'm going to cut some of these out. I think with this one, I was looking at them the other day and not one of the butterflies overlap, which make it fantastic for fussy cutting. So I will be fussy cutting that a bit later. So my ink. And just ink the sides, and then we can get this stuck on. And then the next bit is to just do the files. Just ink that up, bring this in. A little bit there where it's not dried, but I will sort that out a bit later. But I'm not doing the back, am I? I'm doing the inside. So as I say, so that's going to go like that, and then as you can see, with it being blacked out, it just really makes that paper pop. So again, lots of glue around the edges. As you can see, it stops. It's really weird. I've tried to use the little clip pin. I've tried everything. As soon as it gets to a certain point, it stops. Push that in, and then just by eye your the measurement around the sides. Okay, when you're happy. Let's get your tool. I'm just going to burnish that down just to squidge all that glue out. Around the edges. Like so. So that then is your box done. So that's all done. Your box is finished now. So you're ready now to put in your files. And that one's still a bit wet. As you say, they go in and they do stand up. That's why we haven't got we're not going to put any paper either side. That way it just means you can put them in and then they're not going to move when you put your elements in and that for your different projects. Bring that out. So this one is still a little bit wet, so I'm just quickly use that and just dry that off. But what I might do is I'm going to put that back black, I think, and use that. I'm going to put some paper over the top rather than use the white. So where's my, and then oh, I think because I've got all of them, all of the rest of them black, I'm going to keep them black. There we are. There we go. So put them in there. So I'll leave that one and do that one in a minute. So coming on to number 2, which is this side. So that's 1. We're going to do number 2. So number 2, they're all going to be the same side. Sorry, the same size. So I grab my pencil and I can measure them. So I'm going to cut my pattern paper to 10 5/8. So 10 5/8 by 5 and 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to just write that on a piece of paper because I will forget. Write it here. So 10 5/8 by 5 1/4. And then it's just picking your paper of what you want. So I'm going to go with, just going to check. I didn't think so. You could use this, and actually I was going to use that for some fussy cutting. So I'm just going to go through and just pick out some paper that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use the Patterns and Solids more than the actual collection pack, because that way I feel as though I'm not using up all the really nice paper. So we said, so you should be able to get 2 out of 1 sheet. So we said 5 1/4 by 10 5/8. Now the top has got a bit of a corner, and it is in between. Now I've used, not that one, I've got this one, and I used the 7mm. So it was the 7mm corner rounder that I used on this one, like so. And then put that on, and then that's going to just sit nicely on there like that. I'm going to ink the edges, but I'll cut them all out first, I think, and then then edge them at the end. So that's going to go on there. So the next one, because this has only got plain on the one side, I am going to use the butterflies again, but I won't put this next to it. I'll probably put this one on page 6, or on your file 6. So 10 5/8. Like that. And around those corners. Make sure you've got it up the right way. Now you only round the top 2. So that one I'm going to put on file 6. That's at the back. And then I'm going to come in, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use another blue. So it all coordinates. So I'm not going to use that. I might use this one actually. This is quite nice, just to mix it up a little bit. So 5/8, so 5 1/4 by 10 5/8. Like so. And then, unfortunately, this one's got a plain back as well, which is good if you want to put loads of things, like elements and things on it, but not so good if you want to keep it plain. I mean, it doesn't look, it looks quite nice against that, so I could use that side. So that then is going to be for 5 for number 3. Just round those corners. That's 3, and then that one. We'll put that one on this side. So that's that one. So we've just got one more left to do, which is the front. So 1 2 3, and the front I'm going to use. I'm going to go with a flower, I think. I'll go with some purple, and then we've got all the colours then in that. So 5 1/4, 10 5/8, like so. Leave that out of the way because I don't need that now. and then that should be dry. So I'm going to round the corners on this last one, and then what we'll do is once we've got this stuck down, I'll then cut our pieces to put on our tabs. This is where you have the beauty of YouTube when I'm filming, because I can fast forward this little bit here when you are inking the edges. That's that one. I'm just having a think what to do at the front. Now, I hope I managed to get all of them. I did. Like so. So that's them. So now all it is just to stick them on. So I'm going to get them into my order again, so that I can then work out what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go with the purple at the front. So that's my page 1. I'm going to go with blue on number 2, which is at the back. Blue's number 2. And then I'm going to go with red for number 3. Blue with number 4. Hang on, that goes that way. So that's number 2. So there's that blue at the front, that one at the back. There we go. No, that's not right. Right. That one, that needs to go in there. There we go. Right. And then that needs to be that side. There we go. And then this one is at the back. Like that. So we've got the 2 red ones at the front and the back. So now we just need to ink them. I will put this back in my gun in a minute. So that's your, I'm going to go backwards now, so 6, 5, 'and then I think what I'll do, because I've still got a bit of time, I am going to that way, ink this edge. One got away. goes there. Is that my number 4? No, that's 4. So we'll go that way. I'm just looking out my window here and it looks very dark. It looks like it's like the middle of the winter. It's really, really overcast here. We should be having the lovely sunshine. Yes, that's that one. That goes there. And then I'm just going to put this one behind on number 2, and then the 2 red ones at the front and the back. But I may change it actually. No, I'm going to put this one at the front. That's it. That's my front one, and then number 2 can be the red. There we go. That one there. So that's my files done. Now the next thing we've got to do is just do the pattern paper for the files, if that's what you're going to do. Now these I'm going to measure. I'm going to go with half, and I'm going to cover them all, so it's going to be a half by 1 3/4. So again, I just need to write that down. So a half by 1 3/4, and that you can do on both sides if you want, but as I say, I'm going to leave the back as just black, and I'm going to use what cuts I've got here to save sort of cutting into some more paper. And then what we'll do is I will paint mine quickly, and then you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to do half by 1 3/4. Sorry you can't see this. There we go. 1 3/4. So I'm going to come and just do as many as I can, just out of one sheet. So that's 2. I suppose the more colourful it is, the better. So I'm going to do the red. So I'm going to go with 1 3/4 by a half, by a half again. There we go. So that's 2. That's 4. I need one more. And I'm just going to do the purple, and that will be a half by 1 3/4. There we go. Now I have got on my corner rounder, I have got one that is 4mm, which is just what I'm going to use just for the very top of that piece of paper, just so that I can round the edges. If you haven't got a corner puncher that goes so small, you can just cut it down to your half, and then cut it down to your 1 3/4, and then just use a nail file just to round those edges off, like so. Now I will ink as well, but what I'm going to do with this is I'm only going to use my pen, because I want to make sure that I don't see any of the white when I put my numbers on. So I'm just going to ink around just with my pen. like so. And I've got one more. I think I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done them all 5. So quickly just add the glue. I can see mine is seeped out here, so I'm going to pick that up and add it to one of these. And then you can just stick that on. Like so. Now I'm going to stick it as near to that edge as possible at the top. Like so. Move them down. Just as long as when you put your number on, it covers it, which it does. And come down. I will paint these quickly, and then I can put some glossy accents on, and then you can see what that looks like, because that does look really nice when it's on. You could put glitter on if you wanted to. That would look really nice if you glittered over it. So you could put a double-sided tape and then put your glitter on top of that. The other nice thing that you could do is, if you had any gold foil, you could put your double-sided tape down and then gold foil, and then have that coming through, which would look really, really nice. Now I seem to have one missing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll just cut this one down. I have got some gold foil here. I could try that on the back actually and show you what that looks like. So I think that would look quite nice. If you had any gilding flakes, that would look good too. So that's then all covered. I go that way, like so. So that's them done. So if you were going to paint these, let me just grab this. I'm just going to put them on here, and then it saves me having to clean my mat again. And I'll do a couple. I can just do these quickly, because you don't need a really big double coats on these, as long as you've got them painted and you've not got any sort of bits that you've missed. But what I think I've got is, let me just punch this bit out. You might have bits where the laser's gone, and I've just not punched out some of the little bobbly bits, but they will come out if you're just careful and just poke them out with the pokey tool. Make sure you paint them the correct way, and you're not got your numbers back to front. I just nearly did, like so. I've just checked there, there's a little bobbly bit there. There we go. And on the 2, I think. Nope, that's fine. I think they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly just do dry these off, and then we can stick them on. This is the quiet one, so it's not as noisy. There we go. So that's them done. And then what I think I might do is I'm going to try on the back. So on the back of one, let's have a look, see whether or not we can gold foil it and see what that looks like before I stick the pieces down. Then it gives you another idea of something to try. But I'm just going to try this. So I've not tried this before, so it'll be a bit of a learning curve for me. So just add that on there. There we go. And as soon as you've put this over the top, like so, it should be alright. So let's just add our gold foil. Put a little bit there. So as I say, it's just double-sided tape, and just put the foil onto it when it's on. Or if you've got gilding flakes, that's another good thing. Or you can use gold paint, that would work. Well, I just thought this just gives another idea. Alright, it's not gone on all of it, but again, you just need that bit there to show through. And then that really does show, actually. That looks really good. I think I would do that on all of them if I hadn't already papered them. But yeah, you could use your gold foil, gold paint, anything like that, white paint if you wanted to, but I quite like that. More so than the paper now, but I've done the paper, so that's that. But you could gold foil all of them, and then, or gold paint them. Yeah. Just going to grab myself another drink. Savannah, would you just bring my drink in? Right, so now these are dry. Remember to put them on the correct ones. So number one is going to go on like that, and you just use your normal glue just to stick them on. Just put quite a bit on and then stick it over the top. Now what I tend to do is I've got a clamp. It's just one of those little binder clips. So I kind of put the binder clip just on there, just to keep it in position, just while I glue the rest of them. There we go, let's see. Now that will then hopefully set it on, just set it for me. Number two. I've got another one, pick that one up in a second. Number two. Just make sure that they're level. Over a little bit. That's number two. Number three, let's say that's probably dry now, and it is. And then that's what it looks like at the top. Now if we hadn't have inked the edges of that, you would see the paper coming through underneath, so it's always a good job to do that. Don't worry, obviously that my gold foil on there, because that's what I was just showing you. So number 3. And then number 4, oh, I nearly did number 5. A little tiny bit of glue there, which there we go. Take that off. It's just to initially get it stuck on, and then number 5. Stick number 5 there, and that's your number 5. So let's take the next one off, and then all that's left to do is just, if you want to put your glossy accents on, you can, but before I do that, I'll show you what it looks like with them all in. So I'll just stick number 5 in. Number 4, number 2, number 3, and number 1. So that's what they all look like. And then when you, I'm going to glossy accent them now, and then it just really makes these pop. But if you wanted to put something in there first of all, you could, just to make them pop a little bit more. But I think as I've used those bright colours in there, that really does make them pop out a bit more. But say gold paint would look lovely, gold foil, any white, if you wanted to put white behind there, that would look nice. If you were doing like a black and white themed one, that would look really good. So anything like that, just to make them stand out a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glossy accents these and let them dry, and then I've just got the front here to do, which I think I'm going to add some, I added a border. I have got the border, the stickers, which has got a border on, so I could just use these. Oh, the other thing we've got is the, we'll do that actually while I think of it, if I can find what I've done with them. We've got the little corner rounders. Now for this I didn't put any of the holes in because you might want to put them in a different space. So I just put them where I thought they would go. Now if you've got a pokey tool, you can just poke a hole through these. Now I can't see what I've, do you know what, I had loads of pokey tools, all of a sudden I've not got any. Right, so all you can do with these is where you want them to go, so wherever you feel, so you can have them a bit further down if you wanted to, or a bit further up. So again, it's really up to you. I'm going to have mine possibly about here, like so. Now you can just poke a hole using your pokey tool, but remember to support the front as you're doing it. You just need to poke it through like so, and it will work, I promise, because I have done it with mine. So again, I've just taken it out because this pokey tool is a little bit bigger than the holes. So once you've done one, you can see mine is here. Once you've done one, you have got some brads in your kit. You just need to poke the pokey tool through the hole and then through that, and then it goes through to the other side. Now, to get away now from having to see those legs, all I do is just put a bit more of the foundation tape just over the top, just like a little swatch piece. And if you wanted to, just push them down with your ruler to make them flat, like so. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could use some glue. If you've got metal glue, that works really well as well. But I quite like the look of having the brad in there. So I just cut a tiny piece off, about that much. Make sure it's nice and not straight, but you haven't got any bits that come off. And then just poke that over the top, and then it becomes invisible, like so. Now if you was going to pattern this with your pattern paper first, you may want to poke your holes through first, but then that's what that looks like. And then you can do the same on this side. I'm just going to poke that through there. Again, remember to support it. Like so. And then the brads go through quite easily. I think mine, I've lost all mine. They've all rolled on the floor, I think. So I'm just going to do the two. Like so. And then the brads will go through quite easily. And then push that over and then down. And then... You're welcome, Laurie. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a lovely little project, I have to say. Like so. Extra bit on there for some reason. There we go. So then you just need to go through all the way around and just put them on. Now I just bi-eyed it with the second one and just got it to a certain point which I thought they were level, but you can obviously measure it if you want to, but I won't put them on now, but I will do them later. So just for the glossy accents, I'll do one just to show you. Now with those, I'll get one out. She says, if I can find what I've done with it. There we are. So it always clogs up, doesn't it, glossy accents? So I tend to, with this, if you've got some isopropyl alcohol, which I did have, somewhere. There it is. It's right in front of me. I find that if you get any bubbles, it does help to disperse them. So it's a little bit like if you were doing resin or something like that. So glossy accents is self-leveling, so it will level itself. I tend to try and go as near to the edge as possible, and you just paint with it. So I'm just painting, just making sure I've got all those edges covered, like so. And I'll just give it a little spritz just with the alcohol, and that disperses any bubbles that you may have. Funny enough, I didn't get any on that, so put that over there. Make sure I don't put anything on the top of it, and we'll just do this one, and then hopefully, I wonder if I get any bubbles in this. Give it a shake. There we go, I've got a bubble in that. So you can just about see, you probably can't, yeah, just there you can see the bubble. I've got another bubble now, which is good. So just cover that up. And then what I've noticed is I've just ended up with it going over my 2. So I just want to take that bit out. There we are. So you see the bubbles? Just give it a spritz and it does get rid of them, apart from that one there, which is stubborn. There we are. So then that's your 2. And then, as I say, you can go ahead and do the rest. I'm not going to bother doing any more because I think that's it. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the decorating up to you. And don't forget to come and show what you've made on Memories Paper Art. The ladies that I've sent some out to, I will get your new bits sent out tomorrow. So again, I do apologise for that. As I say, it was just an error in the file. So thanks for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. I am going to go live next week at 2 on a Sunday as well. And yeah, so it's a little bit earlier next week. So thanks everybody for joining, and have a lovely week and the rest of your weekend. And I will see you again on Sunday. Bye everybody, bye.